Welcome to Calm Your Crazy. This is Kiana Lambert, and tonight we are talking about money, subconscious programming, and your nervous system. I know I said money and your nervous system, but subconscious programming is where your nervous system pulls the information from to create an experience for you. Okay, so there is no difference between $1 and $2 million. This is a simulation. It's a holographic simulation, and everything is electromagnetic energy. There is 90% space between your atoms. Electrons and electromagnetic energy create opposing forces so that you touch things and it looks and feels real. Matter is slowed down light so that you can interact with it. So there is literally no fundamental difference between $1 and $2 million. What creates the reality that you experience around money is your nervous system. And your nervous system pulls information from your subconscious programming in order to create the reality you have. And it does this in a various amount of ways, but that's not today's episode. So we're just going to zoom out and look at the macro of it, and that's what happens, okay? And your subconscious programming is everything that you have experienced in your life and has created a belief in you around how reality operates. So every experience that you've had from the time you were in the womb, because it goes in through your nervous system, all the way to now. It includes your ancestry and your DNA, so there's that as well. And your subconscious programming is what guides the reality that you experience around money. So if you had scarcity growing up and there was never enough, then you may have that underlying wound belief system that there is never enough and money's hard to get. If you grew up with parents that worked a lot and were never home, then this is going to give you the conclusion that you have to work really hard in order to get money. And that if you don't work, you don't get it. And that's been true so far, right? That's the reality that you've been experiencing. So that is going to continue to be the reality that you experience if you don't ever feel like you're working hard enough to get the money that you want. And if you're to the point where you can no longer work, like some people are, then you're being asked to do it a different way. And that's what tonight's episode is about. It's about lowering the resistance to what you want by changing your belief system around it, visualizing what you want, and holding the frequency of emotion of that reality, and pairing it with the safety of your nervous system by association. And that's what we're doing tonight. So we can go through all the wounds, but basically everything that you have experienced around money creates a belief system. So if you grew up with parents who fought about money, then you may recreate that in your life with your partner. And this can create a sense of not feeling safe with money. And your nervous system is not going to bring you what it does not feel safe for you to have. If you've made mistakes with money, if you've shamed and guilted yourself over money, every single one of those tells your nervous system that the association with money is not safe. And when we think of what we want in the future, we associate it with money. And we think about what we want to buy, what we want to experience, And all of those have an emotional feeling attached to them. So fundamentally, what you want to experience is an emotion that is attached to an action that you want to take. So when you hold that feeling of emotion, when you embody that emotion, and you pair it with safety, you are telling your brain and your nervous system that it is okay. That being happy is okay. And speaking of being happy, when you think of spending money, happiness is one of those emotions that you want to experience. But here's the thing, if you are not used to happiness, then your nervous system is always waiting for the other shoe to drop. If happiness wasn't sustainable, then your nervous system is always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And if you are trying to associate money as a happiness, a positive thing, then your nervous system is going to wait for the other shoe to drop. So you have to be able to hold that nervous system and regulate it, so that when it starts to get dysregulated and you feel that resistance, you can validate and rewire and reprogram your subconscious programming. Other ones, if you never have enough and you're working constantly and you're exhausted, when you go to pay the bills, that's going to be energy focused on lack and money going out and stress. Again, your nervous system is associating money with lack and anxiety and stress. It's not going to bring it to you, because that's going to bring you more anxiety and stress. So we need to change the association with what you are doing. So there is galore references and examples that I could go on for forever, but all of it has to do with your experiences. And you can think back on everything having to do with money, and then you'll know what your belief system is around it. So we're going to go into a guided visualization exercise. And this exercise is designed to pair safety with the future that you want to visualize and that you want to have. So I'm going to guide you on an exercise, and then we're going to pair it with the future that you want to experience. And then I'm going to tell you the exercises that you are going to need to do every single day to rewire and reprogram. It takes at least 27 days of consistency, so you're going to have to do it. A lot of people want to give up, but here's what I want you to remember if you decide that it's getting too hard. The alternative is what you have experienced the entire life of yours. The alternative to not continuing to do it and not being consistent, you have evidence for. You know what the outcome is if you are not consistent, because you are experiencing it now. Think of that every single time you want to give up, because you are working towards something better. And your nervous system is going to kick back. That's its job. Your job is to override it and to acknowledge it and feel it and show it a new way. Give it new experiences to put into the subconscious programming and to pull from, so that you have the outcome that you are wanting. So we are going to start this guided visualization with trying to get in our bodies. When I say trying, because you can't see me, so I'm going to describe it, and then I want you to try and do it, because it's very important that you are present when you do this, because you have to feel. Feeling is the emotional frequency that creates the reality you experience. because frequency corresponds to the spectrum of the electromagnetic field of your electromagnetic field, and that's the reality that renders for you to experience. So you have to get in your body to feel. So we're going to begin by regulating your nervous system, okay? I want you to take a big breath into your belly. I want you to push out your lower belly, simulating a very big breath into your belly. You are breathing into your lower lobes. Then you're going to continue to breathe into your upper chest, expanding it. You are breathing into your upper lobes of your lungs. And then we are going to hold it, stretching out your fascia, releasing it from your diaphragm. And then we're going to exhale slowly, signaling to your vagus nerve endings that are bundled in your abdomen that everything is okay. So close your eyes. And we're going to get into our body. I want you to wiggle a little bit. Move your toes, move your back, move your shoulders, relax a little bit. And just bring your attention to your heart space. This is where your electromagnetic field comes from. And I want you to listen to the sounds in your room. Bring your awareness to the present moment. And feel your body. Move it around a little bit. And then relax. If you want to feel the difference between what tighten and relax is, clench some muscles. Clench your bicep, clench your butt, your quadriceps, your legs, and then release. That is relaxation. Now we're going to take a deep breath into your belly, okay? Just like I described. Big breath into your belly, push it out, simulating that expansion of your lower lungs. Your lower lobes. Now bring it up into your chest, expanding your chest. And we're going to hold for a moment. And then I want you to exhale really slow as you can go. And we're going to do it one more time. Inhale deeply, expand that belly, push it out. Now bring that breath up into your chest. Expand it as much as you feel comfortable. And hold. And exhale slowly. Now you are sitting in the void. This is the darkness. There's nothing around you. Now tonight we are going to search for a memory. And that memory lives in a town. And we're going to get there. So while you're in your body, I want you to start to feel the wind around your face. And in your mind's eye, you start to see lights in the distance. Suddenly you're flying over valleys and rivers. The night sky has a full moon. There's not a cloud in the sky, but a sea of stars. And the lights in the distance get closer and closer. And in this town, there's your memory of when you were the safest. Now you are over the town. I want you to float down to this memory. It opens up like a doorway, and the light gets brighter and brighter as you move through the doorway. Now you are in your memory. Where are you? Who are you with? This is the memory when you were the safest. If your brain starts to make connections and ruminate, bring it back into your body, into this moment. Feel your body. Pull that feeling of safety. Where is that feeling located in your body? I want you to hold it and remember it. This is the feeling that you are going to summon every single day. Feel the warmth of the safety in your body. Now we're going to take another deep breath into your belly. Expand it, simulating that lower lobe, pushing out. Bring it up into your chest and hold. And exhale slowly. You are safe in that moment. You are loved in that moment. Now we are going to take you to the future. In this future, it is everything that you want. When you pay your bills, you feel grateful. You know that money is energy coming in and energy going out. When you spend your money, you feel happy. No stress. See yourself doing the things that you want to do. You feel excitement, happiness. When you go to bed at night, you are present. You feel peace. Abundance comes to you from every place. Abundance is energy, and energy goes in, and energy goes out. You do not have to worry. Everything is always working out for you. Now, as you picture this future, what do you feel? Where do you feel it in your body? Now open your eyes. We're going to take another deep breath into your belly. Bring it up into your chest and hold. And exhale slowly. Now the action you have to take going forward, the exercises that you have to do every single day, are to recognize and become aware of what you are feeling in your body, and then actively rewire it and change it with the exercises we just did. You will not go through them like I just went through it with you. That would take too long. Your brain is a super quantum computer. So what you will do is when you are working with money, when you are dealing with money, or when you feel that resistance in your body, when it comes to anything having to do with scarcity, money, or lack, pause. If you do not feel it, or if you are not aware, it's okay. There's nothing you can do at that point, but you need to work on awareness. When the awareness comes, that is when you have the choice. And when you have the choice, you validate what you are feeling by sitting in your body and feeling that emotion. You validate it by acknowledging where the belief is coming from. And you console your nervous system by telling yourself out loud, if you can, that was then, this is now. I'm in control. I am a conscious creator, and I create my reality, and only good things happen to me. And then you are going to summon the feelings that I just walked you through. First, you are going to summon that feeling of emotional safety. This is active rewiring on an emotional level and in your brain. You are rewiring both. So you validated, you felt, and now you are replacing. You summon that feeling of safety, and you feel it for as long as possible. And then you move into the visualization of the future that you have. And you summon the emotions of happiness, joy, peace, love, and safety. You are pairing those together and rewiring and reprogramming actively. You need to do this every single time you are dealing with money. You also need to thank money. Find a way to thank abundance. Make a mantra of your own. Money goes in, money comes out. Energy goes in, energy goes out. Make money a friend. Speak to it and like a friend and be grateful for it every time it goes out. See you next time. When you make something of it, you are setting parameters for a new paradigm shift in your brain to look at things in a different way. So make it tangible. A friend that is always there for you, that it will never leave you, because that friend is you. You will be with yourself until the end of days. And money is you, it's energy. So treat it like you would the best friend that you've ever had. And a lot of people may have an association with money being bad. That is a belief system that can be changed. Bad people do bad things whether they have money or not. Money is a tool. Most people that grew up in scarcity no longer feel. They can't feel their bodies. They don't have a moral compass. Everything is skewed. But that is because that's who they are, not who you are. And you know exactly what you're going to do when you receive the money. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to validate yourself because you're going to get to the point sometimes where it is scary and you're not sure if you can hold it because things are happening. So you're going to regulate just like you do when you are asking for it, when you are magnetizing it. You're going to summon the feeling of safety. You're going to visualize your future. And then you're going to take action from a regulated space of calm. And you're not going to take action until you're regulated. If you are dysregulated, your brain is hijacked, and you are working under subconscious programming. And you will continue to do the same pattern of behavior that you always have. So you have to regulate before you make decisions. When you regulate, your nervous system expands, you see more, your awareness expands with your electromagnetic field, and you have more options to choose from. This is how you hold on to it when it comes. And you don't have to call it money if that bothers you. You can call it abundance, energy, or anything else. So you have to do this every single day. You cannot stop. And I'm telling you that it gets better, and it gets better. You have to believe in yourself and that this is something that will work for you. You have to choose. Free will is about choice, and you get the choice. And now you can choose. And this works for anything else in your reality, not just abundance or money. This is how reality works. So start testing it and believe in yourself, because your outcome is directly proportional to how much you believe. So if you don't believe in your worth, if you don't believe that you can do this, you have to start rewiring that part of yourself as well, because it goes hand in hand. You cannot build if you do not believe that you are worthy or capable. So that was tonight's episode. I hope it was helpful. I know it was fast. It goes in a lot more depth than that. Today in my community, we were on together for 3 hours because everybody's different. So we went through their situation and what they needed. And we did a tailored visualization, just like this one, for every single person that could stay. And we still have more to do next week. So if you're a woman and you are interested in this community, you are welcome to learn more about it on my website. It's Keana, Keana, Lambert.com. There's a free course, and there's a 6-week course, and then there's also the community. So if you want to learn more, it's life-changing. Today was an amazing day. We had a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of tears, a lot of witnessing, a lot of holding space, and then a lot of action. Because in my community, we don't just talk about problems. We feel. We hold space, then we witness. And then everybody leaves with a plan of action in place, understanding what is happening to them, why it's happening to them, and then what to do about it. It's actually really amazing. I can see life patterns just from speaking to somebody for just a few minutes. And I can connect the dots and kind of guide them and lead them to exactly the conclusion that they're coming to, because I see it on a macro scale. And it's so awe-inspiring because these women are absolutely phenomenal. I have doctors, artists, lawyers. I mean, these ladies are incredible. Wow, it was a good day. Intense, a good day. And if you want to learn more, come join us. We're going to change the world. It may take my entire life, but I got to live anyway, right? So I don't know what next week's topic's going to be about, but we'll figure it out next week. So thank you for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. My goal is always to get you to a point where you can raise your frequency and stop living in scarcity, so that resonates with everyone around you and they can see that you're changing, and they're going to want to change too. And they're going to want to know what you're doing, and that changes the world. So the more that I do this, the more that it changes everything. And because we're all connected, it all comes back to me. And energy goes in and energy goes out. I'll see you next week.